me well?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Fine, let's get started, guys. We are still on the same topic, which is our virtual machine. I told you already it is going to take some time. Half of our course will be on the compute segment, right? So we'll be working around this at least for upcoming few sessions. Before I proceed, do you guys have any doubts, any questions on what we covered till yesterday, as in virtual machine creation? Nothing new was there, to be very honest. We had just a revision sort of thing. Still, if you guys have any doubts, any question, I covered something new was disk part. So any questions here? Image I have explained thoroughly. We have already discussed about size. Now, how to change size, etc. Those are support tasks. We are not covering them now. As of now, we are learning to build a machine. And that too, we will not be able to cover networking now. We will not be able to cover monitoring now, right? So with basic, we have already covered. Disk, I have covered. Management, there is only one thing which we use. I have covered that. Once we learn how to create a machine, then I'll come to this side panel at the left hand side, which you see after once the machine is created. And there we are going to cover all these things. But before I move ahead, any doubts, any questions till here? Subscription part, I have explained. Resource group explained, name explained, region it has been done. We are doing it today. Availability options we are covering it today. Then image I have explained, size it has been done. This is simple user ID and password. There's no explanation required for this. Port it will come when we cover our networking segment. Disk we have covered how to attach this, though it will be repeated many times. Today when I create machine, you will see it again, right? Or I'll start revision also for this. Then networking, it is a different segment itself. We'll start that later. Management, we have already covered this. Under monitoring, not doing anything now. Advanced, not now, but I'll explain later. Tags, I'll cover it today. And that's it we have to cover at the time of machine creation, right? So, any doubts, any questions, guys, still here?
Soil, can you please repeat the attached disk?
I will.
Yeah.
Others, guys, anyone else, anything else? So, one is disk part is there. And I'll correct your question, Mushtaq. To be very honest, I didn't even cover attached disk. Forget about
Okay.
repeating. I think टॉपिक ही
Okay.
पेंडिंग है हमारा. But good you reminded. वैसे भी हम इसी से शुरू करने वाले हैं आज. Yes, guys.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Yes, guys. Yes, no, maybe any doubts, any questions. Very important. Please do not do not take this lightly. That there's nothing there are a few things which you can miss, understand that, and I'll tell you कि यार ये इतना important नहीं है, leave it, right? But there are a few things which surely you have to go through. So this is one of them. Virtual machine को आप skip कर ही नहीं सकते हो, possible ही नहीं है, right? So if you have slightest doubt, please do let me know. So I'm taking that as a confirmation that you guys have no issues, no doubts, and everything is crystal clear, right? Considering the same, let's go ahead and start. So we'll start with virtual machine creation again from the scratch. So here it is. You go there, you search for virtual machine. If you have any virtual machine, you see it here. If not, you get an option to create first virtual machine. Otherwise, options will be same. ये यहाँ पर create नहीं दिखेगा. यहाँ पर virtual machines दिखने लग जाते हैं. And you either create it from here, same thing. I'm going ahead here, clicking click create virtual machine. You will always select your uh, given subscription. You may see multiple subscription here, but that doesn't mean you should choose any. The maybe instances, maybe there will be options and there will be chances where you will have access on multiple subscription. Still, you have to be very careful that what are you selecting. Similarly, you'll go ahead and you will select your own resource group. whichever resource group has been assigned to you, you will select only that particular resource group. For now, I will create new resource group. So it becomes easier for me to delete the resource group. Otherwise, एक एक machine delete करना पड़ता है. I simply go ahead and after the session, I delete the resource group. Then I'll just go ahead and select the virtual machine name. We have discussed this in detail, so I will not be repeating here कि इसका क्या significance है, क्या मतलब है, right? Okay. Then region we have already explained. Availability option, I'll come to that. I don't want to mix this, so I'll come to that. As of now, we are taking no redundancy, standard image. Let's pick any image. As of now, image is not important, so I'm picking any image. Size is important now because we are planning to do a practical on disk, right? We're planning to do a practical on disk part. So it's very important here that we consider the size. So let's go ahead and check the sizes. Okay. Now look at this. These sizes will tell me कि कौन सा वाला size कितने maximum disk ये करेगा, allow करेगा. So in our practical, I don't have any practical जहां पर मुझको आपको 4 से ज्यादा disk attach करके बताने हैं. But still safer side, maybe we'll go ahead with this one. This is supporting how many? 8 disk, which is more than enough. इतना practical है भी नहीं हमारा. 2 3 disk I will show you, and it's more than enough. So I'll go ahead and take this size. While we are creating, when you guys have your subscription, and I want you to have your subscription, maybe by next week we'll have your subscription, because there you will learn something about quota as well. As of now, I'm using a trainer account जिसमें balance का ये नहीं है, कोई issue नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है. So you're not facing that problem. Quota, right? So you will not understand the concept of quota. So once you guys have your
Sir,
own subscription, when we talk about it, right, then you will understand the concept of quota, which I'll explain. Don't worry, you don't have to understand. खुद से नहीं समझना है आपको. I'll explain it to you. But I don't
sir,
just want to create the scenario. Let it come to your screen and then I'll explain. Sorry, someone was asking something.
yeah, sir, I am Satish.
Yes, Satish. Tell me.
हाँ सर, डिस्क ऐड करना मतलब ड्राइव को ऐड करते हैं क्या? नहीं तो डिस्क इज अनदर पार्ट एंड ड्राइव इज अनदर पार्ट. मेरे को
I'll
कंफ्यूज है
explain.
थोड़ा इसमें.
I'll explain. I'll explain.
ओके.
Okay. So this is user ID and password. I have selected this. This is blindly select all of them for now. I'll explain them when we are talking about the network segment. Here, about the disk. I told you already, operating system disk, there is no option that you can create a virtual machine without operating system disk. So it has to be there. So there is no option, right? But you have an option to select the size of the operating system disk. So you can select, by default, it comes 127 GB minimum. You can't create a disk of 100 GB directly. Workarounds are there, but you can't have an operating system disk. Guys, understand this restriction is only with operating system disk. Data disk में हम देखेंगे, you can add a 4 GB वाला disk also. Right? So with operating system disk, minimum 127 GB, and this is which operating system, guys? Is it for Linux or Windows?
Windows.
And for Linux, what is the minimum size? You guys have created Windows operate this machines, right? What is the size did you see? There is a reason, guys, I'm asking you to create
For
machine.
Linux, I guess minimum OS disk size
32.
is 30.
Yes, 30 32 वो ठीक है, यहाँ वहाँ हो जाता है. GIB and GB इसमें थोड़ा सा डिफरेंस है. पोटैटो राइट. सो इट्स ओके. यू एज फार एज यू नो द रेंज 30 32 बोथ आर फाइन. अब ये एक्चुअल में 126 होता है, 27 होता है. वी आर नॉट गेटिंग इनटू दैट, सो इट्स ओके. ठीक है. सो या करेक्ट आंसर. But guys, this is the reason I ask you to create machines using portal. Otherwise मैं आपको स्क्रिप्ट लिख के दे देता and I would have shown you स्क्रिप्ट कैसे चलानी है. आप अपने मशीन पे बैठ के एक वर्चुअल मशीन बना देते and आपका प्रैक्टिकल हो जाता. The reason why I ask you to create it using portal, because while creating, even if you don't change anything in networking, I'm telling you keep everything default. but that does not mean I expect you to do this, right? When I ask you to keep it default, that doesn't mean ये करोगे आप next 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 next. No, this isn't the expectation. The expectation is जितनी चीजें आपको समझ में आ रही है उसको अच्छे से ही करो आप. Make changes over there. Whatever I have given, make sure you select. Even if it is named tiniest detail, make sure you follow that. Suppose that something which you don't understand. In your case, disk was not explained to you earlier, but at least reading के लिए तो कोई explanation नहीं लगता है, right? You could easily see कि यहाँ पर कितना GB selected था. So make sure you read every aspect of this, every tab of this. तभी आपको चीजें याद रहेंगी, and then only you will be able to speak in your interview. Okay, so here we are going ahead with 127. I'm okay with it. OS disk. Let's cover this part as well. When we are talking about disk, इसमें एक और चीज होती है disk type. Right? Now, how many types do we have? बहुत ज्यादा याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं इन सब चीजों को. बस आप याद रख लो, एक है SSD, एक है HDD. One is hard disk, one is SSD. It's your solid. I just immediately forgot the name. I think it's solid disk or something. Let's have a look. वैसे भी
Solid
मुझको
state drive.
solid state drive. Yeah. So HDD versus SSD. What is the difference between that? And this has nothing to do with Azure. In my own laptop, जिस पे हम ये classes ले रहे हैं, इस laptop पे मेरे पास एक SSD है and I have one HDD. So this is the difference between them. So it has nothing to do with Azure. ये बहुत पहले से आता है, आपके physical computer में भी आता है. What are the differences? I'll tell you. HDD, it's your basic hard disk, जो बहुत पहले टाइम से चलते आ रही है, जिसमें वो CD टाइप एक होता था, देन हेड उस पे घूमता था, राइट? अल्टीमेटली इट इज यूज्ड टू सेव डेटा. सिमिलरली सॉलिड स्टेट ड्राइव SSD, वो भी सेम चीज है. इट्स सेम थिंग. द ओनली डिफरेंस इज कि इसमें कोई CD नहीं है, कोई हेड नहीं है. इट्स अ न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी, डिफरेंट टेक्नोलॉजी. आप लोगों के समझने के लिए डिफरेंस जो है इसमें, दिस इज वेरी फास्ट SSD, वेरी फास्ट. दिस इज द रीजन nowadays laptops are coming with 2 disk. अब तो वैसे सारे SSD में ही आ रहे, बट ट्रांजिशन पीरियड जब था हार्ड डिस्क एंड SSD का, और SSD बहुत ज्यादा कॉस्टली थे, देन लैपटॉप 2 डिस्क में आते थे. एक डिस्क आता था SSD, जिसमें आपका ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम इंस्टॉल करते थे. OS के लिए SSD यूज करते हैं मोस्टली, बिकॉज इससे क्या होता है, आपका बूटिंग बहुत फास्ट होता है, शट डाउन, टर्न ऑन, लॉक अनलॉक, एप्लीकेशन चलना बहुत फास्ट होता है. एंड जो बेसिक मेरा डेटा सेव करना है मुझको, पिक्चर्स, इमेजेस, डॉक्यूमेंट्स, देन आई यूज HDD. ऑब्वियसली टेक्निकली दोनों में हर चीज हो सकती है. यू कैन हैव ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम ऑन HDD एज वेल एंड यू कैन हैव डेटा ऑन SSD एज वेल. बट प्रॉब्लम ये है दैट व्हेन यू डू इट इन हार्ड ड्राइव HDD, तो थोड़ा सा स्लो हो जाता है. कंप्यूटर बूट होने में टाइम लेगा, शट डाउन होने में टाइम लेगा स्लाइटली. एंड व्हेन यू स्टार्ट कीपिंग योर बेसिक इमेजेस एटसेट्रा ऑन SSD, टेक्निकली नो इश्यूज, बट मॉनिटरी इट इम्पैक्ट्स अ लॉट. ये काफी कॉस्टली होता है. सो दैट इज द ओनली डिफरेंस. दिस इज हाउ, दिस इज द एक्चुअल इमेज. एक्चुअल में हार्ड डिस्क ऐसे दिखती है. आई एम श्योर मेनी ऑफ यू मस्ट हैव सीन इट. पहले आपके CPU में आता था, राइट? हार्ड डिस्क ऐसे ही दिखती है. देन दिस इज योर SSD. दो चार तरीके की होती है, बट somehow this is how it looks. So you're selecting here that okay, आपने डिसाइड तो कर लिया कि डिस्क का साइज क्या चाहिए. 127 GB की आपको डिस्क चाहिए, फाइन. बट व्हाट काइंड ऑफ डिस्क डू यू वांट? नाउ SSD में भी प्रीमियम और स्टैंडर्ड, ठीक है. नेम इटसेल्फ काफी है आप लोगों को एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए. आई वोंट बी एक्सप्लेनिंग मोर थिंग्स हियर. प्रीमियम ऑब्वियसली बहुत ज्यादा फास्ट होगी, स्टैंडर्ड थोड़ी सी उससे थोड़ा सा स्लो होगा, एंड देन HDD जो है उससे बेसिक सा स्लो होगा. और राइट नाउ लुक एट द डेफिनेशन. यहां पर भी दिया हुआ है प्रीमियम SSD बेस्ट फॉर प्रोडक्शन एंड परफॉर्मेंस सेंसिटिव वर्कलोड्स. वर्कलोड का मतलब कंप्यूटर होता है. whenever they are saying workload, it means a machine, a server. So premium SSD, it is best, and these all are recommendations. These are not technical bindings, guys. Right? These all are recommendations. I told you already, ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम इस पे भी इंस्टॉल हो सकता है, इस पे भी हो सकता है, डेटा यहां पर भी हो सकता है, वहां पर भी हो सकता है. टेक्निकल फंक्शनैलिटी दोनों की एग्जैक्टली सेम है. इट इज जस्ट अबाउट परफॉर्मेंस. सो प्रीमियम SSD, it is best for production and performance sensitive workloads. Standard SSD, it is for best for web server. Yesterday जो application मैंने आपको बताई थी, I developed one application and quickly share it with you. What was that? What kind of application was that, guys? ब्लॉग वाला जो मैंने बताया था एक सर्वर और आप लोगों के साथ शेयर किया था, यू चेक्ड इट ऑन योर ब्राउजर, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ एप्लीकेशन वाज दैट? डू यू सी इनमें से कोई एप्लीकेशन था वो? यस गाइस, व्हाट वाज दैट? किस टाइप का सर्वर था वो? व्हेन आई बिल्ड द विंडोज सर्वर, उसमें क्या सर्विसेज इंस्टॉल की हमने?
IIS servers.
Yes, IIS,
Services.
which means web server. So, what is it saying? That if you are planning to use this server for web server, then the recommendations are you use standard SSD. It is best for web servers, lightly used enterprise applications for development and testing purposes. Then standard hard disk. What is it saying? It is good for, sorry, standard hard disk is good for backup, non-critical, infrequent access. For example, I want to keep your all resumes जो मैं बार बार नहीं देखता हूँ. Initial day one when we discussed, मैंने सबके resumes मंगा लिए. Then I'm going to need this after 3 months when we have completed our 80% course, 90% course, and we are planning for interviews, etc. Then I'm going to access them. तब तक वो ऐसे ही पड़े हैं. Should I be wasting my amount on saving them in SSD? Do you think it makes sense?
No.
No, right? उसके लिए आपके पास standard HDD. Simple. Don't worry about the redundancy. Redundancy we are going to cover later. So ये local or zone redundant, don't worry about this. We are just talking about the type as of now. So we have premium SSD, standard SSD, and standard hard disk, standard HDD. Normally no one calls it HDD, they call it hard disk and SSD. Is this clear, guys? Still here, concept सबको clear है?
Yes.
Okay. So we are taking standard, or I'll go with premium SSD, fine. But you should take whatever it is there. By the way, as an Azure admin, do you think you should be taking a call on this? कि कौन सी ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम डिस्क देनी है किस टाइप की और कितना
No.
साइज?
No.
No.
एंड व्हाई नॉट?
No.
व्हाट इज द रैशनल बिहाइंड इट? क्यों नहीं कर सकते हो आप? व्हाई कांट यू से कि यार टेक 512 GB or take 256 GB, take standard HDD? Why can't you do this?
Because
Developer RPDs.
Because you don't know the nature of the application, right? आपको नहीं पता है क्या एप्लीकेशन इसमें रन होने वाला है, वो आपको नहीं बताया है उन्होंने. मे बी उनका सॉफ्टवेयर अपने आप में जो है इट इज 300 GB का सॉफ्टवेयर और उसकी बाइनरीज वगैरह है. then is it, do you think it's a wise idea to give 256 GB? No, they will ask you कि भाई हमको 512 GB का operating system disk चाहिए. So it's up to them and they will give you. Now again, the disk, you don't know what are they using it for. Maybe they are going to use for an enterprise application, बहुत ही फ्रिक्वेंटली यूज एप्लीकेशन के लिए. फॉर एग्जाम्पल फेसबुक एंड यूट्यूब जैसा सर्वर में किसी स्टैंडर्ड हार्ड डिस्क पे इंस्टॉल कर दूं पूरा, चलेगा ही नहीं. नो वन विल बी एबल टू यूज इट, इट विल कीप क्रैशिंग, राइट? So there you will require SSD, SSD. So you don't know the nature of the application, hence this information should always come from the owner of the application or requester. Now, how they decide with the architect team, pricing, cost, etc., none of your headache. But when a request is coming to you, you should take this one. And if nothing is there, go with default. Sometimes जो default चाहिए होता है वो कुछ नहीं देंगे. Okay. Now coming to the main part, data disk. Whatever we discussed till now, it is for operating system disk, right? Now we are talking about data disk. Let me open my computer. Here it is. Looking at this, can someone tell me how many disks are there?
Five is
Okay. Good guess, but no.
एक है सिर्फ.
Sorry?
One.
No. You can't guess it. So it's simple. Don't ever guess it. Because these are not disk, these are drives. Drives क्या होते हैं? कुछ नहीं है, बस आपके डिस्क में जो और सब फोल्डर्स बना दिए वो ड्राइव्स होते हैं. एंड ड्राइव्स विल नेवर कम टू यू, सो यू डोंट हैव टू वरी अबाउट इट. आई विल शो यू कि कितने डिस्क है, और मे बी दिस इज CLI may confuse you. Let me bring GUI for you. इट विल गिव यू अ बेटर आइडिया, ज्यादा अच्छे से याद रहेगा. देर आर बोथ वेज. डिस्क पार्ट इज कमांड लाइन, जिसके थ्रू आप चेक कर सकते हो कितने डिस्क है. नाउ हियर इफ आई स्टार्ट टाइपिंग लिस्ट डिस्क, कोड लिस्ट, वॉल्यूम एटसेट्रा, तो यहाँ पर दिखने लग जाएगा, बट इट्स हार्ड टू रिमेंबर. सो विल गो टू GUI. बाय द वे, नाउ डू यू नो हाउ मेनी डिस्क डू आई हैव?
Two
दो.
disk.
Two
Two.
disks.
Yes. So look at this. I have two disks. First is my disk 0, and numbers हमेशा कंप्यूटर इसमें जो है ना लैंग्वेज में 0 से शुरू हो गए. अवेलेबिलिटी जोन, इफ यू रिमेंबर, सॉरी, अवेलेबिलिटी सेट, I told you there will be 3, but numbering will start from 0. 0 1 2. Total 3, but number will start from 0. So similarly यहाँ पर I have total 2 disks, but number will start from 0. So I have disk 1. This is my first disk. Disk 0, first disk. And then I have second disk, which is disk 1. Name is disk 1. So here I have installed my operating system on this one, disk 1, which is of 500 GB, and this is my SSD. ये SSD है, इसलिए काफी फास्ट चलती है, and it gives me good performance. And दूसरे disk में I've simply kept my media, which means pictures, videos, software, .exe files, etc., documents. These are drive. तो एक ही डिस्क को मैंने मल्टीपल इसमें डिवाइड कर रखा है, बट देर आर ओनली 2 डिस्क. नॉर्मली प्रोडक्शन एनवायरनमेंट में आप ड्राइव्स का ज्यादा ये नहीं देखोगे कि एक डिस्क में मल्टीपल ड्राइव्स है, ऐसे कुछ नहीं देखोगे आप. ड्राइव्स आर नथिंग, बट उस डिस्क के अंदर सपोज आप एक मेन फोल्डर का एक और फोल्डर बना बना रहे हो, ऐसा समझ लो. आई एम श्योर कुछ लोगों को पता होगा ड्राइव्स क्या है. नहीं पता है, डोंट वरी अबाउट इट. इट विल नॉट नेवर कम टू यू. इट्स ऑलवेज सिस्टम एडमिन्स जॉब. आप लोगों का जॉब होगा पोर्टल पे डिस्क ऐड करने का. आई शो इट टू यू इन द मशीन विच वी आर गोइंग टू क्रिएट, राइट? बट लुक एट दिस. इन माय फिजिकल लैपटॉप आई हैव 2 डिस्क. वन इज SSD, वन इज HDD. And these are the drives. So similarly, now I am creating, when I create this machine, I am going to have, for sure, I am going to have one operating system disk. वो तो ऑप्शनल ही नहीं है, ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम डिस्क तो दिखना ही है, राइट? ये वहां पर मुझको एज इट इज दिखेगा. बट डू आई वांट डेटा डिस्क? आई कांट डिसाइड दैट. मे बी माई एप्लीकेशन नीड्स डेटा डिस्क. किसी तरह का डेटा उसको सेव करना होगा, वहां से लेना होगा. सो एप्लीकेशन ओनर विल टेल यू, yes, with this server I need a disk with 50 GB. So from here you can come and create a disk. Now when you click on this button, this is creating a disk and attaching a disk. And why is it saying so? Because there are options where you can simply just create and leave the disk. कहीं पर भी attach मत करो, वो भी आप कर सकते हो. But here it is creating a disk and attaching as a new disk. So give any name, और name यहाँ पर अपने आप I told you वो machine से pick कर लेगा. It will give you a number, data disk 0, right? So even if you keep this, it's fine. It will be easier for me to remember or to at least recognize कि किसका disk है ये. Right? Source type. Do you want to copy any data on this disk? So we are not doing that as of now. Let's stick to no. Very important, size. If I have asked you for 40 GB, you don't give me 1024 GB. 1024 GB, it's almost 1 TB. Not almost, exactly 1 TB. I don't want a disk of 1 TB. So you always click here and change size. And don't get confused with between machine size and disk size. मशीन साइज से हम क्या डिसाइड करते हैं कि उस मशीन का रैम कितना होगा, उस मशीन का CPU कितने हो गए, IOPS कितना है, हाउ मेनी डिस्क दिस मशीन विल सपोर्ट. वो आपका हुआ मशीन साइज. दिस इज मियरली अ डिस्क साइज. उस मशीन में एक डेटा डिस्क जो लग रहा है उसका साइज. सिमिलरली वी हैड इन ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम डिस्क 127 GB. नाउ वी आर क्रिएटिंग अ डेटा डिस्क, और यहां पर हम इसका साइज सेलेक्ट कर रहे हैं, सो वी कैन चेंज इट फ्रॉम हियर. So we'll get the menu here, and यहीं पर आप इसका टाइप भी सेलेक्ट कर सकते हो. So if I have asked for a machine where I want premium SSD for my operating system, but I want standard HDD, and look at this, premium SSD version 2 is also there for data disk. What is it for? It is best for production and high performance sensitive workload that consistently require low latency and high IOPS. तो यहाँ पर already information आपको दी है. You don't have to go and search anywhere else. Just start reading things when you are practicing. Don't consider our task just for the sake of it कि यार बनाकर छोड़ दिया. Don't do that. This is not school. Even if you don't do, I'm not going to say anything to you, right? This is for your own good. So when you're doing it, do it religiously. Start reading these details. Then only you will understand things, right? So if I have asked you to create my disk one should be standard HDD, then it should be standard HDD. And unless I have spoken about zone, by default ये local ही रहता है हमेशा. So standard HDD, if I have asked for standard HDD, you don't give me SSD. You don't give me premium SSD. So if I have asked for hard disk, it should be a hard disk. Then comes size. If I have asked for 32 GB, you select this. 64 GB, you select this. 120 GB, you select this. Or if I have asked you to create just 20 GB, come here and type 20 GB. That's it. So now you're creating a disk, a data disk, to create a disk to store application on your VM. Disk pricing based on factors including disk size. Obviously size change करोगे price change होने वाला है, right? You have selected here disk type, size, key management, leave it. Just click OK. So now when this machine gets created, we will have one disk here. उस मशीन के साथ एक ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम डिस्क आएगी. सॉरी, एक डेटा डिस्क आएगी. ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम तो ऑप्शनल ही नहीं है. क्लिक नेक्स्ट. We are not doing anything, but when you guys create, at least go ahead and read about it once. Click next. Under management, I have already explained. So now from now on, we'll be using this facility. Do not worry about the notification for shutdown. I don't want multiple notifications. So remove the notification. And I'll tell you if I want notification, I'll tell you if I do not want notification, I will tell you that also. So without notification, whatever time is given to you, let's say I'm okay. 7 p.m. में machine shutdown हो जानी चाहिए automatically. Click next. And this is where you create. While we are here and we have 10 minutes, before I create this machine, let's complete one more topic, which is tags. Very important. Very simple, easy, but very important. बहुत ज़्यादा काम में आएगा फ्यूचर में when we run monitoring logs, when I want to check कितने विंडोज मशीन है, कितने लिनक्स मशीन है, कितने प्रोडक्शन मशीन है, कितने 2008 मशीन्स है. Everything you know in a production environment you can fetch using these tags. So tags are very important. Technically बहुत ज़्यादा इससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. You leave it blank, मशीन फिर भी बन जाएगी. Unless I make it mandatory using some policy, that's a different thing. Right? So what are tags? Tags are nothing. You can come here and select things. For example, uh, who's the owner of this machine, right? You select value. Simple. If you do not want something from here, you can type it your own. For example, task number, right? Let's say this is are going to be task number 3. So all of you will put the tag here. It will be easier for me to check. It will be easier for you to understand. Environment. The environment का already यहाँ पर है. So what is it? Training environment hai, prod machine hai, development hai, test machine hai. What is it? So I'm saying this is a test machine. And what is it saying? That while creating the machine, ये tags सब पे अपने आप लग जाएंगे. If I tell you that while creating this machine, don't add this tag to all of them, just add it to machine. You can come here and just select virtual machine. तो ये सब virtual machine पे होगा. But I'm okay. इस tags सारे resources पे भी चले जाए. It's okay. Right? Next is let's say it could be anything. एक्चुअल एनवायरनमेंट में आपको इस तरह के टैग्स दिखेंगे. कॉस्ट सेंटर, एप्लीकेशन ओनर. ये फर्स्ट ओनर जो है वो भी चल जाता है उसमें, बट एप्लीकेशन ओनर इफ आई वांट. सो दिस इज कस्टमाइज्ड फील. Every company, every project will have their own, but you have to make sure that whatever they have given, it is there. While creating a task, while giving a task, now I will be giving you that your task should have tags. It should have task number, it should have date on which you are creating, right? So if I've given you a task today and if you are creating it, let's say day after tomorrow, so it should have it here. Got it, guys? These are tags. How to use it later, it's not today's topic. How to create tag Is this point clear to everyone? Let's say if you have typed it incorrectly, you can simply delete it from here. How to delete it later, machine बनने के बाद क्या क्या edit होता है, we are going to see that later. Yes, any doubts, any questions, guys? Anything on tags?
No.
So I'll make sure that in my
साहिल
request,
भाई
yes,
एप्लीकेशन ओनर और ये वीएम के ओनर में क्या डिफरेंस है? दोनों सेम है।
don't have to worry about it, guys. If you get a tag जहां पे दो tags दिए एप्लीकेशन ओनर और वीएम ओनर, आप दोनों लिख दो. Again, I'll go back to my day ones, this one, कि रेड पे क्यों रुकना है, ग्रीन पे क्यों चलना है, एंड ऑरेंज पे क्यों देख कर चलना है. वी डोंट हैव टू वरी अबाउट इट. आपको बस इतना जानना है, यू स्टॉप ऑन रेड, you drive on green, and you watch and go on amber. To get a license, that's all they will ask you. Right? So to clear the interview, no one is going to ask you this question कि आपके tags में ऐसा difference क्यों है. But just to answer your question, VM owner कोई और हो सकता है, application कोई और हो सकता है. Maybe application owner में they will write developer's name, या फिर development के management का नाम लिख देंगे, in machine में infrastructure system admin का नाम लिख देंगे. None of your business. You don't have to worry. Now task number and session number, right? If you have written the task number, it is implied कि ये session 10 में हुआ था. Doesn't make sense, right? Or if I am writing session 10, it is implied कि session 10 में ही मैंने आपको task 3 दिया था. But I want both of them. Your job is that whatever is given in the request, it should be there in the tag. I'll tell you why. Because you don't know, you never know कि based on this tag, after a year, maybe I want to run some report. मुझको कुछ अपना मॉनिटरी रिपोर्ट रन करना है कि टास्क 3 में कितना पैसा स्पेंड हुआ, सेशन 10 में क्या क्या हुआ. यू डोंट नो द बैकग्राउंड एंड यू डोंट इवन हैव टू नो अबाउट दैट. सो वॉट एवर कम्स इन योर रिक्वेस्ट, यू विल सिंपली write that in tags. And tag should be very careful. If I'm asking you to write test like this, you do not write test like this. It is case sensitive, because tomorrow when I am going to run report, and if I search for test, I will only get machine which are there with this name and not machines with which this name. Are you getting it? So you have to make sure कि tags में आपको as it is copy paste करना है. जो भी वहां पर दिया गया है as it is copy paste करना है. If I've given you a format that there should be a tag with this date column, and इसका value होना चाहिए date, and date format should be this, right? So do not go ahead and do this. Good. Say it's taking it, but still you will never do this. It's not taking it, but you never do this. Let's say if I have asked you for date, so you don't type this date. यहाँ पर तो ये duplication ये कर रहा है, but when I run the report, it will not capture this date. When I run the report and if I search for this date, it will not consider कि यहाँ पर ऐसा कोई date भी है. Maybe internal कर ले, but I use third party. बहुत सारे applications होते हैं, so you never do that. If it is given to you like this, you simply just copy paste. And when in future when we learn Azure policy, तब आपको पता चलेगा कि normally इसका option भी नहीं होता है. इसको Azure policy से enforced किया जाता है that you can't even create a virtual machine if you don't put dates or if you don't put tags. Tags इतना mandatory होता है. This is very simple, non-technical, but very essential and important tool. इससे बिलिंग वगैरह बहुत सारी चीजें इंपैक्ट हो जाती है. सो डू नॉट टेक इट लाइटली. इफ इट्स आस्क्ड टू यू कि इस फॉर्मेट में लिखना है, from day one in practice session also, make sure that you write it like this. Do not think यार डेट ही तो चाहिए थी, मैंने ऐसे भी लिख दी, right? Because when I put filter and I try to do this, nowadays everything is automation, right? No one is going and searching there कि यार ठीक है आपने 30th जून लिखा था. An automation system will run, maybe some agent will run, it will run a report and it will see, put a filter that, okay, has Rehan, I'm just taking your name for example, I'm not even sure if he's there. Let's say Rehan has worked or not. So he'll go ahead and check the machines, he'll check the tags, and he'll see for Rehan, and he'll see if he has worked anything on 30th June, these two filter. But agent or that bot has a filter 30th of June like this, because we have given that system input as this. But on the other hand, Rehan has given like this. तो मैच ही नहीं होगा, वो उस रिपोर्ट में नहीं आएगा, and it will go as a failure, right? And there are plenty of things which are affiliated with this. So you never try to play with this. You make sure you stick to what has been given to you. By the way, tags is not only for virtual machine. Tag is for every resource. Tomorrow, when we go ahead and create virtual network, subnet, vnet, storage account, you name it and it has it. You do it anything, tags will be there and concept exactly same. हर रिसोर्स पे टैग्स का कॉन्सेप्ट एग्जैक्टली सेम है सो नेक्स्ट टाइम व्हेन वी प्रैक्टिस नेक्स्ट रिसोर्स whenever we move to storage segment, network segment, load balancer segment, I'll be typing the tags, I'll be giving you this as a task in your homework, but we'll not be explaining it again. So I hope this topic is clear for everyone. What are tags? Any questions, any doubts, guys?
No.
Okay, I'll start creating this machine. We have added one disk to this machine. A data disk we have added. This is the name. 20 GB is the size. And we are creating a machine now. Let's go ahead and check how it looks when it has been created. We have 30 seconds left in this session. So we are going to join using the same link in 5 minutes. Meanwhile, machine bhi tab tak ready ho jayegi. So see you guys at 1:45 sharp. Use the same link. I'm stopping the session now.